live from the Twin Cities. This is the Fox 9 Morning News.
It's exactly 8:24. Welcome back. We are just a few weeks into new airline rules meant to protect customers. Well, the rules fine airlines and then give passengers more cash for things like being stranded, bumped, left sitting on the tarmac for hours on end, and more. So are they working? And people even notice them yet? There are a lot of new ones here. And joining us this morning is Lisa Buckner from Corporate Travel Services in Minnetonka. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in to talk about this. This is a big deal. These are, from your angle, from the travel business, how big are these changes? And we're talking about, $400, $600, $800, over $1,000, depending on being bumped and stranded. That's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. I think travel today is, well, for how long? It's stressful. I mean, whether you're a frequent traveler or not a frequent traveler, but you need to know your rights. That's the main thing. And if you get bumped involuntarily, you need to get compensated for that. And the airlines typically have done that, but now the compensation is basically doubled.
And it's standard among airlines.
Yep.
They're no longer going to be one airline's not going to be more generous than another.
That's right. There's rules. Department of Transportation has published those. They're available on the websites. They're available through your travel agency. If they lose your baggage, they will compensate you for the fee that you paid, as well as the
stuff that's in there. They've always compensated people for the stuff. Have you heard from anybody yet? I know these are really new. I know they're kind of phasing them in, and probably a big thing is making the airlines aware of them too, right?
It's making the consumer aware. They have to publish this all on their websites now. The same way with the ancillary fees, all the fees that they're charging, that's available on the websites. Where before it was kind of hidden in there, you had to look for it. You didn't really know where it is. So I think right now a lot of it is just making people aware and knowing what your rights are.
Yeah, and if your potential customers are watching, what do they need to be aware of then when it comes to these rules? Is it the baggage? Is it the stranded? What do they need to know?
They just need to know if they have an experience, it's not a good experience, they need to voice that in writing, and the airlines have up to 60 days to follow up with you. And if they don't follow up with you, they will be fined. That's new as well. That came in with the rules. Yeah,
and I heard there was a fine that if you're stranded on an international flight for a certain, like on the tarmac for over 4 hours, it could be tens of thousands of dollars per customer, right?
Per customer, yeah. It can double basically what the cost of your ticket was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these are substantial.
Yes.
It's meant to protect the customers. One tricky area for a lot of people, airline ticket prices and figuring out all those fees. How can we make sure that we're not surprised? Is this go back to the websites and all this stuff out there?
I think it's a couple things. Yeah, it's awareness, knowing the website, and talking to a travel agency. There's a value in talking to a voice and knowing what's going on. With the flights being so full, with the issues with security right now, weather comes into play big time. So you need to have that voice of reason that can help you through that.
In your experience, and you've watched things change, obviously, at the airline industry since 2001 after the terrorist attacks, do you see airlines putting more planes back in the air? Because you talked about the flights being crowded. There are fewer flights. Do you think we'll ever get back to those earlier numbers, or are they operating now more efficiently than they were?
I think they're operating efficiently. They all have new planes for the most part. I mean, not every airline, but I can't say. I don't know. At this point, I think that they know that the flights are full, but it's all about making money. And fuel drives so much of that.
Yeah, that's certainly not getting any cheaper.
Right.
Well, we can't have you here this weekend without talking about the 10th anniversary of September 11th. Airline travel has changed so much. You talked about it being stressful. Is it more stressful now? Has anything changed for the better when it comes to customers and customer service?
I think technology has obviously made a big difference, and I think that's good and bad in some ways. It makes the process more efficient. But on the other hand, then you're not talking to anyone, and I think that leaves people going, what next? So I think it's the big thing is really being prepared and getting there early. Booking early and arriving early, because there's so many unforeseen things that you don't know about. And the weather is driving so much. I mean, especially this year. It's been crazy.
Absolutely.
And security. And
yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. If you heard from clients about security, I know there's nothing you can do about that as a travel agent and travel company, but I mean, that's got to be one of the big complaints now for people too.
I think people are they expect it. They know what they're dealing with. So we don't hear that much. There's certain airports that have this secured traveler line. And there's things there that you can do. The frequent flyers know what to do. It's the people and the family and the leisure that, that's why I say you need to arrive early. and I'm a frequent traveler, and I don't always do that, but
It's amazing. It's still the best advice after all these years is get to the airport early. Well, Lisa Buckner from Corporate Travel Services in Minnetonka, thank you very much for being here this morning. We appreciate that, talking about the big airline rule changes. Well, there's still another 30 minutes of the Fox 9 Morning News to come on this Saturday, September 10th. We come back, Marina has our forecast. We'll talk Vikings football and head to St. Paul to help celebrate One Brewery's 25th anniversary. It's a beautiful morning. Your forecast is next.